It seems like 2026 is going to be an interesting year for gaming. 2025 should have been a breakout year for gaming, but in a lot of ways, it wasn't.
Yeah.
We saw incredible creative, artistic visions in gaming that felt like games you played in the past, but with its own flair to it. Smaller budget games that felt like AAA experiences, and with passionate, talented developers made by gamers for gamers.
No way. Yes way.
But yet, too many games launched unfinished, expensive, over-monetized microtransactions, chasing realistic graphics instead of artistic brilliance, censoring things that are very questionable, or just missing basic features at release, making it feel like you are the beta tester for it.
But wait, there's more.
Live service fatigue hit harder than ever. Games shipped with battle passes instead of content, roadmaps instead of polish, and day one patches that felt more like apologies, which then these games could be a hit or miss for a studio anyways. I'm looking at you, Highguard, at this very moment.
Oh no.
Single-player games weren't immune either. Performance issues and rushed launches made it clear that optimization became an afterthought, not a priority. Layoffs after layoffs, big-budget AAA games failed, while indie, mid-sized, and Eastern games dominated the market. Creativity in games wasn't dead in 2025. You just had to find them another way. It wasn't through a big media gaming outlet telling you why you're toxic for not liking this game, but usually through good word of mouth or content creators you trust was the best option. Also, good games were often buried under overhyped, safe, mediocre games. Bloated open worlds with overdone graphics that have no soul to them, and all feeling like it was designed by a committee making decisions on the top that really don't know what gamers actually want.
He's out of line, but he's right.
But here's the thing, the gaming industry knows it failed, and if it doesn't want to crash and burn, it will need to change with the time. So will 2026 feel like a correction year where real feedback quality matters more than quantity of chasing trends that don't work no more? Where complete games matter, worthy of your time and money more than a monetized half-baked game for full price? Where real, authentic, creative experiences in gameplay and stories are finally used to create games that are memorable for years to come, or just another cash grab to be consumed and then forgotten about.
Yes, yes.
So today we're looking ahead at the games that could restore trust, raise the bar, and remind us why we fell in love with gaming in the first place. Keep in mind, this is my own personal list, so a lot of games you like might not be on here. As well, I'm looking at games that appeal to me visually in an artistic, gameplay, or just in a fun way. Some games on here might not have dates for them to come out yet, but big or small, I'm still interested to see what is to come. Now then, these are my top 10 most anticipated games of 2026. Number 10, Halloween the game. So if you're a fan of the Halloween movie franchise, this will probably be a must-buy. Is competing against Dead by Daylight. Let's be honest, there's not much asymmetrical horror games out there as big as Dead by Daylight. And even then, Dead by Daylight just took away the Halloween franchise characters in there, which is so dumb because that is what actually made me want to go and play Dead by Daylight. I was ready to play that game. So now they took them away. And now we're getting this Halloween the game 1v4 survival horror kind of deal. We're doing this again, this multiplayer game. But the thing is, what makes it kind of interesting with this IP now is these are the developers are called Ilphonic, and they are published and are also getting help by Gun Media. So if those names ring a bell, these were the people that created the Friday the 13th game, which I adored. I loved that game. I wish it didn't end as soon as it did because of all the copyright, and it was the legal problems here and there with the IP, with the Friday 13th name and all that. It was cut short. Even though I liked the game, I know it was broken in some areas, but it was just a fun game with friends, and I had a blast playing it. Now we're going into this new IP with Halloween. So this might hit as well as when that did. We had other games like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and on and on. We had a bunch of these games, but none of them hit as hard as Friday the 13th did. I think this could be another kind of game that like streamers show off. Your friend has it, you gotta pick it up because everyone's having a blast. You see how fun it is. This game will be coming out September 8th. There will be a single player story mode, which we don't really know much about. It's just gonna take place during the first Halloween in the 70s. We're gonna have also the multiplayer mode. There's gonna be a bunch of gameplay mechanics. So it's just the same loop we're doing again. I just want there to be more competition. There's other games that were like this in the past that were okay at best. Video Horror Society, rip to them. Sorry about that, guys. I like that game a lot. We're moving on now, and Halloween could be the next big thing. Not saying it will be. Hopefully the developers can actually fix the game and not make it a broken mess like they did for other games in the past. This needs to be a hit for them for sure. I am excited to see more about this, and I think it will be a fun game for you and your friends. And if you're a Halloween buff, know about Halloween, this will be probably a must buy as well. So there you go, Halloween the game. Number 9, Bradley the Badger. So this is an upcoming indie 3D action adventure platformer in the realm of those old school games you used to play on like the N64, the PlayStation 1, or even newer style games like with Kirby or Mario or Sonic, Crash Bandicoot, Spyro the Dragon. Any of those games, you're pretty much getting this. And this is developed and published by Day 4 Night Studios. These devs are from OG classic Rockstar, the ones that created like Red Dead Redemption, as well as some employees from Ubisoft that made the Mario & Rabbids series. So these guys, they created this studio and are making this game their very first game, and it looks good. I am liking what I see because I like those old 3D mascot character platformers because they've been lacking in the modern day. Let's be honest, you don't see that. You see a lot of 2D platformers, but you don't see a lot of 3D no more. So this is a nice welcome, I think, for something like this to come back again. This was shown off at the Game Awards last year. There's a lot of influences I see. I see a little Big Planet in there. Kirby, Super Mario, Galaxies, Crash Bandicoot, Spyro the Dragon. There's a lot of things going on. So this game is supposed to come out this year. It's not official yet. We don't really know when it's going to come out. But when it does, I will be checking this out, indie games, because we need to support our indies here and there. If they're actually well done and they deserve it, why not? I'll be looking forward to seeing more of this. Bradley the Badger. Number 8, Threads of Time. So this is an upcoming era-spanning, turn-based like JRPG, and it's developed by a Canadian studio called Rio Games. This is their very first game, and it's published by Humble Games. So this one is very interesting. From the get-go, what I saw from a trailer when it released at TGS 2024, and then they showed it again in TGS 2025. It looks very nice. It's appealing to the eyes visually. The art team did a phenomenal job, you can tell. It's definitely in the realm of those classic JRPGs back in the day, like Chrono Trigger or Final Fantasy, or even like Sea of Stars, Dragon Quest, Octopath Traveler. A lot of those games, JRPG games you played in the past. So it's gonna have time elements to it, just like Chrono Trigger did. Just visually, music, aesthetics, everything about it is very appealing. And that's why I'm gonna keep my eyes peeled for this one, guys. I wanted to put it on here. One of the RPGs, if I wanted to pick one for this year, which we still don't know, when this game will be coming out, but it was announced 2 years ago or something. I hope this one does make the mark. There is so much in the market as well with the JRPGs. Sometimes it's a hit or miss, and this one looks intriguing enough to keep your eyes peeled. So that is the game Threads of Time. Number 7, Onimusha Way of the Sword. So this is an upcoming action-adventure game that is developed and published by Capcom. If you know the Onimusha series, this will definitely be a pleasant surprise for you all. It's supposed to come out this year, not sure when, there's no date given, but it's supposed to come out in 2026. I never played Onimusha, straight up, but I've heard many people say it's more of a like Ninja Gaiden with like Resident Evil in there. So it's a lot of different elements in games. And this one with now the RE engine itself, it looks like it's trying to be really realistic, but also be magical as well in the game. So there's going to be magic-based things in there. And from what I've seen so far about this game and what it is, it seems like it's going to be a reboot. It's not going to be a continuation of the story. Maybe it's a soft reboot in some way. Don't know, because the last one in the series, Onimusha Dawn of Dreams, which came out like in 2006, I don't know if it's going to continue that. This samurai Edo era Japan, from what I've seen, it looks really good. People say this is a Souls-like game. It's not a Souls-like game. It's more closer to like a Ghost of Tsushima or a Ninja Gaiden game, kind of like that. It looks like it's not going to be fully open world either. So it's just going to have larger linear open areas. Sekiro, I guess. Feeling like one of those like old PS2 games, hack and slash games kind of deal. And I definitely want to keep my eyes peeled for this one because it does look very good. No demo for this yet. So hopefully there's a demo for this. I gotta get myself ready for it. I still want to try the older games to see what this franchise is about, because it's been dormant and it's been in Capcom's hands for a while, and they don't do really much with these franchises they have. So this is a nice welcome for this game. So this is Onimusha Way of the Sword. Number 6, Pragmata. So this is an upcoming action-adventure game and also developed and published by Capcom. And this one is going to be releasing April 24th. I've actually played this game myself. I checked out the demo for this game. From what I've seen people talking about it online is that it's intriguing. It's a game you think you know, but you don't know until you play it. So it has elements where it's like a third-person shooter, but with mechanics of a puzzle game with like Hugh, which is the main character, the astronaut dude. He's just shooting his way, dodging his way out of things, moving, platforming, all that, while you have this little android girl in your back. Her name's Diana, and she's doing all the hacking things, the enemy drones that are coming, and you just disable their shields, and then that's when Hugh gets in there and starts shooting and blasting. You're using two different parts of your brain a little bit, where you're gun and shooting and trying to dodge your way out, while also trying to figure out how to solve this puzzle. So it's a very intriguing game. You don't see a lot of games like this, and in the beginning, when I saw this, I really didn't care much about this game, let's be honest. But more and more I looked into it and how people were talking about it, good word of mouth, and then I played the demo. I am actually very interested in this game. Premise to it too, with the future sci-fi AI things going on there. Graphics are pretty impressive too. I don't know. I think this is going to be a sleeper hit. It's not going to be like crazy, like everyone's going to be talking about it or any sort of thing like that. From what I played, I did like it. If you like those old school like PS2 games, platforming, shooting, and then solving puzzles, it's that kind of game. It's called Pragmata. Number 5, Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis. This is a reimagining of the original 1996 Tomb Raider game. So it's just pretty much a remake, guys. A remake of a remake. We've had Tomb Raider Anniversary, and now we're getting another one. Most likely for the 30th anniversary is my bet. But it's also developed by Crystal Dynamics and Flying Wild Hog and published by Amazon Game Studios.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Again, red flags, very questionable because Crystal Dynamics in the past had the Tomb Raider IP. They've goofed up. They've messed up so much. Tomb Raider was an IP and a character that everyone knew who she was and what she looked like. So the good part about this whole thing now with Tomb Raider is that they're going back to the basics, which is finally she looks like Lara Croft as we remembered, even though I know people online are arguing she doesn't look the same, but I think it's good enough. It looks fine. The problem is going to be with how they're going to change this game. What are they going to reimagine? What story elements are they going to change? But what they're doing is it's not going to be as tough. Obviously, they're going to get rid of the tank controls. Now, if they do have tank controls, that would be interesting because you can have modern controls or tank controls. That would be a nice implementation for old school fans and new people. I really like the remasters they had 1 through 3 and 4 through 6. Those were really well done. Now, this is purely just a remake, or if you want to say a reimagining, that's where I have a problem because usually remakes love to switch things around, change some story elements, change how characters act. Yeah, I don't know really much. From what I've seen from just that one trailer at the Game Awards, it looked actually Tomb Raider. And that's what was the positive. Lara Croft is actually a Tomb Raider now. The survival trilogy that they had, especially with the first one, I thought it was fine. It was okay. But they just milked it, and she never became a Tomb Raider. She never did. And we were waiting for those dual-wield pistols where she has the shorts, you know, the boots, the tank top, the braided hair, classic Lara Croft that we miss. So it is a nice welcome, but will it land the mark? I don't know. We don't know. It's supposed to come out this year, so we don't know when. We will see with this, with Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis. Number 4, Tides of Annihilation. So this one is an upcoming fantasy action adventure game developed and published by a Chinese studio called Eclipse Glow Games. And I think this is their first ever game, so a lot of people are talking about watching it and are very impressed. It's inspired by an Arthurian legend, so King Arthur and his knights. It's going to have elements of the Knights of the Round Table. So it's a game that feels like Final Fantasy 16 with Devil May Cry, Bayonetta. It's like a hack and slash game. It's going to go hard. From what I've seen graphically and what is going on in this mystical fantasy London that's happening in the world, it just feels like straight up Devil May Cry with this medieval element to it with magic. I love myself some Devil May Cry and Bayonetta, so more of that I am happy about. The graphics for this game look impressive. There's like giant boss battles that happen, feel like from God of War 3. I am interested in. When I first saw it, when it got revealed, I was already in. I already saw it, potential for it. I liked what I saw. It also gave me like Stellar Blade vibes, which I do like Stellar Blade. It's supposed to come out this year. We don't have a date official, but it's coming out this year. So keep your eyes peeled for this one. It's called Tides of Annihilation. Number 3, Phantom Blade Zero. This is an upcoming Chinese martial art combat-inspired action role-playing game, and it's developed and published by S Game. And this is their very first game, and it should be coming out this year, September 9th. To be honest, I didn't care for in the beginning when they showed it off, but over time, the more they show for this game, I am getting a little bit more intrigued to see what it's about. From what I've heard online and others say, it feels like like Metal Gear Revengeance with the raiding game, Ninja Gaiden, and some elements of like a Ghost of Tsushima, which I think this game is gonna do crazy numbers. From what I see, this could be like a Black Myth Wukong or a Ghost of Tsushima moment. And I feel like this game, more and more I see of it, it's getting hyped like crazy. The last trailer they had for it, it definitely intrigued me a lot, and I'm more positive about it than when I first saw it. This looks kind of badass. This looks awesome. The Chinese kind of acrobatic combat, like almost inspired by those like martial arts, like action films back in the day and stuff. It looks really cool. Fluent movement, crazy different weapon uses you can use, dynamics. It looks like a game I haven't seen before because the combat is so fluent. It's a game I've never seen before. So in just that aspect, feels very interesting and very fresh. Definitely will be seeing if this is actually worth it in the end. But from what I've seen and what people are saying, it looks fantastic. Again, this is Phantom Blade Zero. Number 2, Mouse PI for Hire. Okay, so this is the last indie game on this list. This is probably the most hyped indie game, I think, in general, because it looks so different, so unique. It's a boomer shooter developed by Fumi Games and published by Playside Studios. And it's supposed to be releasing March 19th. So very soon, guys. This is a super unique game. Artistically, it's one of those old 1930s kind of like Steamboat Willie kind of style, rubber house animation, but with a like noir detective storytelling to it. It just looks different. And that's what makes it special out of the crowd of different games coming out. And that's great because more creativity, more different kind of games we get, and more unique kind of games we get is the way forward. That's how you get more eyes on these games. Now, I was thinking about, will it be big as like a Cuphead situation? Unique black and white, hand-drawn animation, homage to the classic cartoons, the plus side of this game. Keep your eyes peeled for this one. I think this is gonna make a lot of people's lists, and it's called Mouse PI for Hire. Okay, before we get to the final one on this list, guys, I want to give a couple of honorable mentions to some of the games I couldn't put on this list that looked kind of interesting. So they are Dragon Quest VII Reimagined, Neo 3, Fatal Frame 2, Crimson Butterfly Remake, Crimson Desert, Soros, Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight, The Blood of Dawnwalker, The Expanse Osiris Reborn, Exodus, Knight's Path, Defect, Felt That Boxing, Dead House Sonata, Ill, Spine This Is Gun Fu, Vindictus Defying Fate, Turok Origins, and finally Grand Theft Auto 6.
Come on, don't bullshit me.
But wait, you thought this was number 1, and most of you think, yeah, it should be, right? But for me, I'm interested in something else, guys, and this is what my number 1 is. Number 1, Resident Evil Requiem. Come on, guys, you knew this was gonna be number 1. I'm a huge Resident Evil fan, but still. So this is gonna be the 9th game in the installment of Resident Evil series, but in reality, it's more of like the 11th game in the franchise, if you include Code Veronica and Zero. Okay, and this is still developed and published by Capcom, and it's supposed to come out very soon, February 27th. So this is pretty much the franchise's 30th anniversary, and it's set approximately 30 years after the Raccoon City disaster in 1998, returning to the core narrative of Umbrella Corporation's bioterror legacy. So we're going back to where it all started, which is very intriguing, especially if you've been with the series for a long time like me. When I saw this game, you could see many clips on this channel. I was very surprised. I had no clue what was going on when they first showed this off, but when you saw the Resident Evil 9 logo on it, you already knew this is going to be interesting. And they're going into a whole different direction with this. More and more came out. We found out Leon S. Kennedy's coming back, and then we have this new character, FBI analyst Grace Ashcroft. If you know that name, she is the daughter of Alyssa Ashcroft from Outbreak. So they're bringing Outbreak canon into this game as well. This is the number one, even though maybe it's a cop-out answer. I just think for me personally, this is the most hyped. I could be disappointed when I actually get this game and play it. Don't know. Hopefully I don't get disappointed. Hopefully it actually goes back to the basics of Resident Evil with a mixture of the action, like from Resident Evil 4. Hopefully they have the slower pace stuff from like Resident Evil 1. Maybe they could get a good balance of that. Hopefully this actually turns out to be one of the better ones. We will see when we actually get to play this coming soon. That is my number one for sure. It is Resident Evil Requiem. That is my top 10 most anticipated games of 2026. If even half of these live up to the expectations, I would be happy. Time will tell. But what did you all think? Let me know in the comments below, guys, what was your most anticipated game coming this year? And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, sub, follow, and share. It really does help in any way for the channel. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you for watching this video. And if you didn't like this video, I still thank you for watching this long. This is Peti Kish signing out, and I'll see you guys in the next one.